Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We're going to the top. We're going to bring others with us. So let's get it started. Let's talk about this sad case where Eric Garner, basically, he was killed by the police for no reason at all, just because he was selling cigarettes and they put him in a chokehold and he couldn't breathe. R.I.P., rest in power, and may you and your family be blessed. It was so wrong. This case was just so sad. It was just so messed up. And the police and the cops got away. They kept their jobs. They kept getting paid. They was on payroll, suspended with pay, all the other stuff. The family was out here fighting, for justice. You know how hard it is to fight for justice, especially in a system that's already rigged against you. And his family was out here fighting for justice, trying to get help, because their father was taken away for no good damn reason. He didn't have no weapon. He wasn't fighting the officers. It was just low down and dirty, and it was just so sad. And then his daughter, she ended up dying. She had 2 heart attacks and she went into a coma. She was out here. She became an activist. Her name is Erica Garner. She was out here fighting and protesting and basically trying to get justice. And it's hard to go up against a justice system that is not there for you, where people are lying to you in your face. You got medical examiners lying, you got police commissioners lying, you got the cops lying, you got the DA lying, you got the officers lying, you got the secretary lying, you got everybody lying and getting away with it. And it's basically your hands are tied. There's nothing that you can do other than to black out, basically. And it's just a sad situation. It's so wrong how they took this man's life for selling cigarettes. He ain't no criminal. He wasn't committing no crime. He wasn't hurting nobody. But basically the cops felt like it was his time to go. And these police officers need to be checked. These police officers need to have a new handbook, a new rule, a new contract, a new recruiting way. And also on top of that, when they break the law, they need to be suspended. They need to be fired. They need to be gone. Their union should not protect them when they're out here committing crimes, and they're no good for the community, and they're criminals too as well. And then on top of that, we have Eric Garner's, stepfather. He died. You know what I mean? He died too as well. And this is just crazy. And he had a heart attack too as well. Sometimes you think that it's a conspiracy. Sometimes you think that something went on, something happened. Like, why the father died? Eric Garner, he died. The stepfather died. Now the daughter died. And these people were out here, especially his stepfather and his daughter was out here, protesting, out here trying to get people involved to bring light to the situation, trying to get help, trying to get lawyers, trying to get justice from a system that's already rigged. It was a kangaroo court with them officers, them NYPD officers. It was a kangaroo court. They got away with it, and they're not behind bars, and they're living their good old life in New York City, living in their nice brownstone, driving, eating, laughing, joking, and they ain't bust a sweat. They haven't got no counseling. They haven't been retrained or nothing like that. We need a new president that's going to basically reform the police department, and there's some rules and regulations that they cannot violate and get away. They don't have the right to take somebody's life for no reason at all, just because they feel like they want to, especially if the person's black, especially because they black. There needs to be a whole new psychological test that these officers need to pass, and basically somebody from the black community need to put together the psychological test for the police officers to take. And if they fail the test, they can't go. Like, there shouldn't be no answers, no scandals. And we already know that New York, the police department is one of the worst police departments ever. It's just like the it's just like the LAPD. There's been so many stories, there's been so many movies, there's been so many officers, and there's been so many detectives have came out and spoke about the racism, the hate that they have for the black community, for the black people. There have movies been done on the NYPD being corrupt for years and years. You gonna think it's gonna change? No, it ain't gonna change unless we change it. We gotta change it. The people gotta change it. That's why we gotta put the people in office that is down with ADOS, down with police reform, and down with helping the real people, the people that are out here working every day, struggling, basically trying to survive and live and paying their taxes, and they probably won't even live to see their social security. You know what I'm saying? These people that are out here risking their life every time they go out to work, every time they leave their house, they don't know what can happen. They could be taken down by the police. They could be taken down by the criminals in their community. It could be anything. Like, these people need justice. We need justice. We need the ADOS reparations all day, every day, to help our people when we go through cases like this and one of us is slain in the streets by a police officer and they get a slap on the wrist and they get away with it, like it's okay to do it. Basically sending a message that it's okay to kill black people. Black people, you can kill them, you can do this and you can do that. Basically, that's the message that they are sending to the officers, and this is why they continue to have these cases come up, because the NYPD and most law enforcement agency, they don't care because they don't see black people as human. It is what it is. And then today we got this mother sucker. We're gonna get into it. We got this mother sucker. Today we got this mother sucker out here doing the most like it ain't nobody's business. He was out here yelling and screaming and having a whole major fit. Let me tell you, he was out here just doing everything he possibly could do to right here he goes. This dude right here, I mean, the police commissioner of the trial of the this is the police commissioner, or I think his name is James O'Neill or something like that. His name is James O'Neill, I believe. But he went on Fox News and he acted a fool. He was acting so much of a fool, they had to cut off the live airing of the show and basically said it was having complications. It basically, to me, I think he made threats to the citizens and he made threats to the mayor that the police can't do their job, and how you're going to make the police want to do their job. You know, they are tied down. They're not going to be able to do what they need to do. And when people call the police, and for help, people call the police when they're destitute. What about when the police is not there because they can't do their job, and basically it's wrong and all this other stuff that he was saying. And basically he's saying that it sounds like he's going to let crime go and tell his officers to basically sit down and eat donuts and drink coffee. That's the way he came off on his little interview, or his, you know, little his media blitz that he did today on Fox News. That's the way it came off to me. Like, he was like, well, we can't do our jobs. So I mean, if we can't do our jobs and we're gonna have, you know, judges, you know, go against us, then we can't do it. We can't do what we need to do. I was like, this dude is way too much. Basically, it seemed like, you know, he's going to have his, you know, ops come out in the community of New York City. They're going to be major crime going on, and it might be the police departments that are going to commit the crime, and basically say, oh, you know, you guys want the police departments to serve and protect you and this and that, but we can't, because if we do our jobs, we're going to get suspended and all this other stuff. Because basically that's what he was saying. So they might be sending the ops out in the community right now, and they're probably getting a task force together in New York to do God knows what. But you know what? It is August, Black History Month, Black Power Month. So it ain't gonna work. You can't hurt no black people, baby. So he was on Fox News acting a complete fool. He was out here yelling, he was screaming, and because he's very upset because a New York administrative judge, I said drug. Well, he looked like he was on drugs. A New York administrative judge recommended that Daniel Pantaleo, the New York City police officer at the center of the Eric Garner case from July 14th death case, should be fired from the department, sources says on Friday. So now the police commissioner, he went out there and basically said Daniel is going to keep his job. He's going to keep being paid. We're not going to dismiss him. We're not going to dismiss him. I can't believe the judge had the nerve to say that he committed a crime. So that means every time a New York police officer go out there and do their job, they're going to be considered they're committing a crime. And he goes with the trial and everything that went down with the Eric Garner case and all the police officers that was involved. No one said they did anything wrong, but this judge had the nerve to say that this officer Daniel did something wrong to Eric Garner, and he don't appreciate it and he don't like it. And basically it seemed like he was saying, you judges and the mayor, you guys gonna need our protection and we might just disappear on your ass. That's what he's saying. And the community people that agree with the judge, we might just disappear on your ass. It wasn't like you was doing nothing in the first place. Come on, Mr. Good. Instead of, you know, your officers are harassing a man on a corner selling cigarettes. Okay, tell him to move his merchandise. You don't got to put him in a chokehold. You don't, especially when the man tell you he can't breathe, and you gonna think it's okay, and you think it's okay for your officers to get away with it. No compassion. You know, no. What about you know, you're out here in this community. You're out here in the black community. You're out here, you know, policing the community of black people, and you're gonna tell me you don't got officers that understand black people. You got officers out there ready, you know, Eric Garner he looked like an older man. He looked like he was no threat to no police officer. He didn't have no weapon, but yet they took him down. And this is not the first case. This is not the last case. That's why 2020, we need a new president. We need a new president that's going to set down the law with the police department, going to set down the law where ADOS and reparation give it to our peoples ASAP. And that's what we need. And also to bring jobs and change the community and change the water system and also change the food that are being sold and these impoverished areas. All this stuff needs to be corrected for real. So I was just like, no, I mean, this dude, he was out here wilding on TV. If he could have, he was about to say F up. He was about to start cussing, boy. And he looked like he was like, he's sending a word to the NYPD not to do their jobs. This is what the commissioner was saying. And he's pissed at the mayor because the mayor is out here, basically, the mayor's out here. He supports the Eric Garner family, and he believes that the police officers should have been fired. They should be held accountable, and he believes that Daniel should be fired from the police department, and he should not receive any pension or any money, point blank, period. And the mayor said the deaths of the Eric Garner family is due to Eric Garner being killed. His daughter dying of a heart attack, Erica Garner, and his stepfather dying of a heart attack too as well, is because of the stress of this five-year-old case where everyone said that the police has not done nothing wrong. This family has suffered for years and years. And so the mayor's on point. The mayor, Bill, this dude, he said some real shit. He was down for the people. He was with the people. And I was surprised he was able to step out and be real and say what he needed to say. Like, he wasn't playing. He wasn't holding his tongue. His tongue wasn't cut. The police commissioner and the police department, they are pissed at the mayor. So we don't know what they're going to do to the mayor because he was out here defending the people that put him in office, just like the police department. The city pays, the people pay their taxes for the police department, and they don't have control over what's going on in the police department. They can't get respect from the police. They can't stop these police from coming in their neighborhoods and committing catastrophes and destroying the whole community and family. They can't, the people in the community should be able to, because their tax dollars is going to the police department. They're supposed to serve and protect. It's not the other way around. These people are paying their hard-earned money in New York with the rent, with the taxes so high and everything like that, especially because of the mafia from back in the day. You're going to tell me these people can't get justice? They can't say they don't want this police officer to police their community. They have a right to say that. What about if everybody stopped working and didn't pay no taxes? What would happen to the police department then? So that's the case that may be. So anyways, the judge recommended that Daniel be fired, that he should not be working for the police department at all because he is not equipped mentally or physically. His mind ain't right, and he was wrong for what he did. And she believed that he should not even be considered a police officer, and everybody that was involved in the Eric Garner case should be fired, but she doesn't have any. She's not the judge over the case. Basically, this is a civil, and this is with the police commissioner and the judge that, administrator that recommend and presides over, police officer cases and stuff like that. It basically was like, this is totally wrong. And then, the police commissioner, he came out screaming and yelling. He was telling her she's not smart, she's not this, she's not that, she don't know what she's talking about. I can't believe she had the nerve to say what she said. Nobody else said the officer did anything wrong. Why are you saying that? You don't know what you're doing. You didn't read the evidence. You need to review it and take a whole nother look. I hope the judge does not back down from her decision, and her recommendation still follows and carry on that Daniel, the police officer that choked out Eric Garner, actually be dismissed. I wish he could be locked up, but you know what? That's already passed. So I was just like, this is just so crazy. This is Daniel right here. Daniel's out here living a good life. He got his suit line. He got his rollie on. He's having a good time, a fresh haircut, while the Garner family is suffering. They lost a father, they lost a stepfather, and they lost a daughter too as well. While he's living nice, he's with his probably wife and kids having a good time living off that money that's coming in, because you know what, he's still on paid leave, so it's good, and basically he's ready to collect his pension. And so that's why they don't want him to be fired, because then he cannot collect his pension, because that means that he did something wrong in the line of duty, which they can cancel his pension, and that's not what he's trying to have. And plus they feel like he can't go on to another career, and that's what, you know, the police commissioner wants to happen. I was just like, OMG. The city civil complaint review board also urged O'Neill to uphold the verdict and dismiss and fire Daniel, removed him. Today's decision confirms that the civil complaint review board always maintained Officer Daniel committed misconduct on July 7, 2014, and his action caused the death of Eric Garner. A statement read, so the civil complaint review basically said that he was at fault. I don't know why they could see that he was at fault, but then, you know, when he went to trial and went to court, and all that other stuff that went on, why wasn't he indicted? Why didn't he go to jail? You know, they could see it, but you know why? Because it was a kangaroo courtroom, and he got away with murder. And then the city police union leader, meanwhile, said the judge recommendation as pure political insanity. Basically, they're calling the judge all types of names that ruled and said that, you know, Daniel needs to be, you know, dismissed. I was like, And then, you know, this is what the police commissioner was saying. Basically, the police city union leader, if it is allowed to stand, it will paralyze the NYPD for years to come. Patrick J. Lynch, president of the City Patrolmen Association, said in a statement, he said the judge ignored evidence and tampered. And Daniel writes, in order to deliver a recommendation that politicians and protesters demanded, basically hating because the truth came out and you was blind to see it. So therefore, y'all need to be fired. All the people in charge of the police department, the city, the union leader need to be fired. The police commissioner need to be fired. These motherfuckers need to be let go, baby, because they is ignorant and they are low down and dirty, and they thought that they were gonna get away with it. But at the end of the day, like I said, August is power for black people. It's power for African Americans, for black people. This is the Melanin Power Month. So basically, our people is empowered this month.